Good evening. The recount for the mayoral election has been decided for Jasper. The Bicentennial flags have been officially raised, and an inform you don't want to miss with your local stories, sports, and weather is coming up here on the 18 WJTS News. This is the 18 WJTS News. Good evening. I'm Charlotte Olson. Those picked to oversee the recount of the yet-to-be-decided Jasper mayoral race have been chosen, and an official recount of the November 3rd election likely will take place next week. The recount commission for the Jasper race will consist of Republican Representative Merrill Osterman, Democratic Representative Art Nordoff, and Karen Mannix. The Jefferson County Clerk will serve as the mechanic, and she was chosen due to the fact that the Jefferson County uses the same type of microvote equipment and the no-ink electronic poll pad, same as the Du Bois County, and has working knowledge of both systems. Daviess County Judge Gene Sobecki was selected too and has eventually agreed to oversee the process as a special judge in the case. It is tentatively set to take place in the Pfaffenweiler room at the Jasper City Hall, and the public is invited to attend and observe. However, an exact date and time has yet to be selected. Last month's election between Republican incumbent Terry Seitz and Democratic challenger Wayne Sheeter finished in a deadlock of 1,856 votes apiece, with independent candidate Joshua Budd, who finished the night with 190 votes. On November 16th, a lawsuit was filed by Indianapolis attorneys David Brooks and Samantha D. Wester in Du Bois Circuit Court on behalf of Seitz, asking for a recount of the ballots in the race and also for an option of holding a special election. State law says that the recount must be completed by December 20th, and now if the recount should still end in a tie and the election is indeed certified by the state, the task of naming the official winner will be in the hands of the current Jasper City Council, not the governing city body that will take over after the first of the year. If the election would come down to the council, and if you're looking at a vote of perhaps down party lines, the Jasper 7-member council currently consists of 4 Democrats and 3 Republicans. The new Jasper City Council that will take over after the first of the year will, for the first time ever, be controlled by Republicans 4-3. Indiana State Code of vote and decision must be made by December 31st of this year. Last night, the Huntingburg City Council conducted a final reading to approve bonds for the proposed city wastewater project. The proposed 2016 Sewage Works revenue bonds will come in at about $1.4 million, with a junior loan from the electric utility also at $1.4 million. Details for the city's planned wastewater force main project were laid out during a joint informational meeting between the Huntingburg Common Council, the Board of Public Works, and the city's Utility Rate Advisory Board last month. During that meeting, Gary Ladd with Ladd Engineering and Buzz Crone with O.W. Crone & Associates submitted presentations that focused on the project's details and how it would be funded. The project would replace the lift station on 19th Street while adding a lift station on Van Buren Street. The 19th Street lift station will be capable of 3 pumps, but for the time being would use only 2. Each pump is capable of a 2,400 gallon a minute flow, and the Van Buren lift station will consist of only 2 pumps. The capacity issue is that the main reason for the project, as the wastewater force is focused mostly on the northwest side of Huntingburg, where it just so happens a lot of development has been taking place. The Hunters Crossing housing project is a major expansion that the city foresees will benefit from the new wastewater force main, and there is the potential for the expansion in the industrial park. However, if this project were not to unfold, capacity issues could present Huntingburg with some significant problems. The estimated cost for the project is $4.3 million. In order to cover the cost of the expansion, a utility rate increase for wastewater will be needed. A future meeting will decide between 2 routes for the increase, and the first route is a 1-step rate increase of 18%. The second is a 2-phase rate increase, with the first phase being 11.7% and the second phase being 6.3%, of course adding up to the total increase of 18%. Even if the city decided against the project, an 11.7% increase is still needed just to fund the current operations. Last night, the council introduced the ordinance establishing that 18% rate increase with wastewater. This increase comes at the recommendation of the Utility Rate Advisory Board and Board of Public Works. Now, this was just an introduction. There will be a public hearing at the next City Council meeting, which will take place December 22nd at 7 p.m. Also last night, the council heard an update from Energy Superintendent John Rudepoler and Indiana Municipal Power Agency's Energy Efficiency Manager Dan Worrell about the proposed solar park in Huntingburg. The idea for the park was first introduced last year, but residents of the area planned for the park voiced concerns about noise, unsightly looks, and how the park would affect land values. Rudepoler visited other solar parks, but IMPA and noted that sound will not be a concern. As for the issue of site, the council had asked last year that they come up with other possible locations for the park. After considering 4 of the 5 possibilities, Worrell and Rudepoler came back to the council last night to propose a new location off of Phoenix Drive, west of the previous location. The new location would be as easily noticeable by concerned nearby residents. Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner says that the solar park facility would be instrumental in the continued growth of the city.
That project still has to go before a planning commission to do the zoning required for it to be a energy generating station, but we believe that it's a site that will be very useful, have about a 40-year life, will help Huntingburg stabilize our energy costs and also help us shave off peak usage times. So it's a good project. It fits in with what IMPA is trying to do statewide, along with other energy companies across the state, and it'll be a good selling point. It'll be a point from an economic development standpoint. This is site selectors around the country as they look for new places to come, communities to locate in. Renewable energy is one of the things that's on their checklist. So this will put us on that checklist, and expected this to go forward and be active by mid-year of 2016.
The park is part of an initiative to bring more renewable forms of energy to energy providers. Huntingburg Solar Park will be a 1.75 to 1.8 megawatt solar station with the goal of keeping Huntingburg's energy rates at an even level during peak usage times, balancing the energy supply when the demand increases. Worrell stated that IMPA would be seeking a tax amendment for the project. If it moves forward, Worrell says that materials would arrive next April and the site could be up and running by the end of June or even early July. Today, the Jasper City officials officially raised the Bicentennial flag at the Jasper City Hall, along with cities and towns across the state. All flags were raised together during the noon hours and will continue to fly throughout the year. Mayor Terry Seitz read a proclamation announcing the kickoff of Indiana's Bicentennial year, and Executive Director of the Indiana Bicentennial Commission, Perry Hammock, says that the flag is a symbol of unity as the commission kicks off the Bicentennial. He says in their hometowns and in their travels, Hoosiers will see the Bicentennial flag waving all across the state during the year-long celebration. The Indiana Bicentennial Commission is a 15-member body chaired by former Lieutenant Governor Becky Skillman and former U.S. Congressman Lee Hamilton, charged with overseeing the planning and execution of a statewide celebration for Indiana's 200th birthday. First Lady Karen Pence serves as the official Bicentennial ambassador, and Indiana's 2016 Bicentennial celebration aims to honor the state's 200 years of history and to do so in a way that engages all Hoosiers and leaves a lasting legacy for future generations. The commission encourages every community in Indiana to take part in this unique and wonderful celebration. Officials with the city of Jasper say starting Monday, the intersection of Worrell Drive and West 13th Street on the city's west side will be closed for 3 days. Jasper City engineer Chad Herm says a contractor working for the city is installing new storm sewer pipes as part of the repairs being made along Worrell Drive between West 13th and West 15th Streets. Herm says as a result, traffic will not be able to pass through on West 13th from Altmeyer Road to St. Charles Street during this time. Herm says that the portion of the Worrell Drive as its intersection with West 14th Street will also be closed. A big congratulations goes out to the DuBois County 4-H. This organization was named today's recipient of the 12 Days of Giving grant from the DuBois County Community Foundation. Du Bois County 4-H will receive a $1,000 grant from the Du Bois County Community Foundation as the latest winner in the 12 Days of Giving series. Make sure to tune in to 18 WJTS Monday night, as well as our radio partner 101 Country WBDC during our 4 and 5 o'clock news Monday afternoon, and be sure to check out the Community Foundation's Facebook page to hear and learn of the next recipient of the $1,000 grant. Up next, we'll have a look at your weather summary.